Hello everybody, welcome back to Frontier Patriot. My name is Ron Rayfield and this is
Justine Dorn.
And we're here for another Chew and Chat.
Welcome to the jungle. We got pound cakes.
We have pound cakes.
From 1796.
And we got the jungle in here.
Yeah, we got the jungle.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about these pound cakes first.
So Ron, tell me, you're looking at this. Now, does this physically look like what we would consider to be a modern day pound cake?
Nope.
I mean, just looking at it. What about it is different than what you would go to the grocery store and pick up a pound cake?
Well, at the grocery store, they're like huge loaf. This looks more like a very small corn muffin or a really fluffy cookie.
That's right. You hit it on the head. Okay, so the history of pound cakes. Pound cakes originated from Northern Europe sometime in the early 1700s, the early 18th century. Pound cakes got their name because they originally had a pound of flour, pound of sugar, a pound of butter, and a pound of eggs. Oh my gosh.
That's heavy.
Yeah, that's really heavy. But by the time we get to the late 18th century, that was actually already starting to fall out of favor. Oh boy, I can't even imagine why. Why would a pound of butter be a bad idea? I don't know, but it was already starting to become kind of a old-fashioned flavor. And on top of it, this has rose water in it, which by the late 18th century and the early 19th century was, again, starting to become a little bit old-fashioned. Some people did still cling on to that, but this is actually kind of an old-fashioned recipe by the time we get to 1796. So by the time we get to that period, there's already the option. I've seen recipes where they have pound cakes that don't have a pound of flour, don't have a pound of butter, don't have a pound of sugar, and so on. I think because this is just so heavy on the stomach, and it's kind of hard to cook it because it has so much grease in it, so much butter, that people started realizing really quick that there's a better way to do this. But I found it in American Cookery, the first cookbook published in America, and right below it there was another recipe. It was called a so-called pound cake. And that one did not have a pound of everything that I just mentioned. So she decided to put both of those in there, kind of an old-fashioned recipe, which people were still making, but there's better options by this time period, as well as a new age recipe. Well, I decided to try a old-fashioned recipe. So, why is it cooked flat like this?
I don't know.
In the recipe, it says to cook it for 15 minutes. So that's a hint right there that it's got to be cooked flat. A lot of cakes in this time period were cooked flat like cookies. And when there's so much grease in here, it is just easier to cook it flat. You could cook this in a big pan. That would have been called a great cake. But it takes a considerable amount of care. You have to cook it very, very slowly. And also you have to make sure the eggs are whipped up really, really good, or it's going to be as dense as a brick, especially with all that butter in it. So for your everyday, whatever meal, they would have preferred to make it flat like a cookie because it's just less of a hassle, more likely to work out.
That makes plenty of sense to me, actually.
Well, thank you. So we have two of them here. I only showed myself making one of them on Early American. We have caraway seed flavor. They're actually very common in desserts of the time period. Now, Ron thinks they taste like rye bread because
they're in rye bread.
They're in rye bread, and he just associates them with that taste. Caraway seeds and rose water are two very old-fashioned flavors. They used to be in so many desserts, so many baked goods. You really have to have an old-fashioned palate to appreciate it. I love it, but some people don't. So I also made cinnamon nutmeg ones because the caraway seed and the cinnamon nutmeg ones were the two most common flavors of pound cakes in the 18th and early 19th centuries.
Yes.
And Ron likes the cinnamon ones.
Of course. But hey,
Yeah.
Can I eat one?
You can certainly eat one.
Okay, I'll start out with the ones y'all came here for, and that's the original.
The caraway.
Or yeah, the
Yeah,
caraway
it has
seeds.
caraway seeds in it.
Okay, so it's nice and squishy. It's like a muffin, squishy-wise. It feels like a muffin.
It's very moist.
A heavy muffin, because it's got, this is probably breaks down to like a 1/16 of a pound of butter, and this single one here.
Yeah, in this one bite, I'm probably eating a tablespoon of butter.
Let's see here.
Ugh, can't believe I'm eating more of these. Yesterday I had like 5 of them.
Very buttery. It's good, especially if you like butter.
If you're the type you just sit there and eat a stick of butter,
Yeah.
sure, this will be great. Man, it's really buttery.
The texture is really nice though.
Mhm.
These would be awesome with some milk, but unfortunately we only have water today.
Mhm.
But could you imagine just give them a quick little dunk, and they would be saturated really quickly because they're heavy, but yet they're light because the butter in it throughout it makes little pockets of air.
Hmm. Yeah, and the egg does it too because we whipped that up real long.
Yeah.
That's a leavening agent in here.
I do like this.
You would like the caraway seed ones?
I don't taste it as bad today.
Today. You passed today.
You passed today.
Can't believe I'm eating more of these, and I'm sorry I won't be eating like 20 of them. But yesterday I gave a class to some students from Washington University in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
They came down to St. Genevieve. It's the second year in a row I've done this. The Center for French Colonial Life, where we worked part-time in St. Gen. They got me to teach them about food history, and I gave them a tour around a kitchen. But see, that ain't my style. When people come in, I gotta feed them. So I made 3 dozen of these pound cakes. That was 30 eggs, 3 pounds of sugar, 3 pounds of flour, a cup and a half of rose water,
3 pounds of eggs.
3 pounds of eggs, which is 30 eggs.
That's 12 pounds of ingredients total.
Yeah, you're right. So yesterday I had about 5 of these. I'm done. I can't eat no more of these. They're so good, but they're so buttery. There's so much butter in them. Okay, let's try the cinnamon one though.
Okay.
We'll tell the audience which one we think is better.
Let's split one. How about that?
Oh,
I'll even give you the smaller half.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. So much better.
I like the caraway seed ones more. That's just me.
These remind me more of breakfast because of the cinnamon.
Okay. Yeah.
I would love to have these with my coffee in the morning.
They're pretty good. But the caraway seed ones are better. Can't eat no more!
No, stop eating them.
We only had one, but
Well, hey,
man, one's enough.
you might be wondering why am I wearing this wig again? Well, the other day I had Justine take a little bit off the back of my neck and she went a little too high. And so we ended up having to just shave my head, basically. So I'm trying to prevent sunburn. So that's why I'm wearing this thing. Let's see if I can get it to... There we go.
Now, in case you can't tell already, we cut our own hair. I actually haven't had my hair cut professionally in 10 years.
Me neither.
And that was a disaster
Apparently.
when I did it. So we cut our own hair, and I'm Ron's barber. And I'll use whatever scissors I got around. I mean, if I got fabric scissors, I got whatever scissors I used to cut plastic, whatever, I use over my head.
I'm actually pretty good with the buzzer, and because I can use a couple different attachments and fade it from thin down here to a little bit thicker on top. But I had the guard off of it, and I said, "Hey, can you just get the back of my neck?" And the first swipe, she went up. I was like, "Okay, well, there we go."
There we go. Gotta bust out the wig.
So we shaved my head and I got the wig on.
How many people, when they have a bad haircut, their first thought is, I gotta put on an 18th century curly wig?
That's all I got. Here's what you got. No, actually, I quite like it. I feel like I look like Jason Statham, if y'all know who he is. Or Bruce Willis or Vin Diesel with the bald head. It makes you feel,
I like it too.
But it's quite cold at nighttime when it's windy or whatever. I'm not used to it yet. I'm used to having fur on my head.
So what, you gotta wear your wig at night?
Yes. The other day we went up to Grant's farm in St. Louis and was looking around, and they had this train thing that you ride through the park. It's a huge park to go through their wildlife area.
And it's open on the sides.
And I was just freezing because I did not have a sock hat on or nothing.
It literally looked like this. Ron was holding me, and we were going, and the announcer was saying, and on your left you'll see some deer, on your right you'll see some swans. We barely made it out with our lives, but we've never been there before. Grant's Farm in St. Louis.
Yeah. And then after that, we went to Thornhill, which is Governor Bates, which is the second governor of Missouri. His mansion is what I'm going to call it. It's a mansion.
Yeah.
Basically, that's at Fowles Park in St. Louis. And we ran into two ladies that were there cooking, and they recognized Justine. And I think you went to one of their cooking classes one time. They were doing a cake seminar or something like that.
I know these people. I've gone
know these people.
I've gone to one of their cake cooking classes in the past.
Mm.
And she offered me some of her homemade dandelion jelly, which was fantastic.
Surprisingly, it was fantastic.
She said the admittance fee was 3 dandelions to get in the door. So it takes a lot of dandelions to make jelly. Okay, we said we're not going to eat any more of these, and we're just nibbling on them.
They come here to see me eat. I gotta eat something.
Yeah.
But this is it. I ain't no more.
I've already had 2 of these today.
You may as well finish it.
They're just really, really rich. So they're by Amelia Simmons. And who was Amelia Simmons?
She was an orphan.
Yeah, it sounds a little pitiful, but she signed herself off as Amelia Simmons, an American orphan. And she actually was an orphan. She said she was an uneducated orphan. And she was a white maid from New York. And her book is considered by the Library of Congress to be one of the 88 most influential books ever published in America.
Wow.
It was the very first cookbook ever published in the United States. Before then, we used British published cookbooks. So now we have a cookbook that incorporates a lot of Native American recipes, a lot of things like pumpkins and potatoes and tomatoes even, and also it's extremely patriotic. There's a freedom cake in there, there's a voting day cake,
Right.
There's an independence cake. These are all things that there's names of. So you really see a pretty incredible American influence in this cookbook, not only in the ingredients, but even in the name of the dishes. So it is an extremely important work of American history. But no offense, Amelia Simmons, but these are really heavy.
But they taste good.
Yeah, they taste good.
Well, hey, we have a little bit of news this week on my family's farm. For those of you who don't know, we have about 30 horses, and we train, board, break, and breed them. And we had 2 baby horses be born this week.
Yes.
So there they are, aren't they? Aren't they cute?
They are really cute. Ron's dad has a horse farm.
Anyways, that's always exciting to see new farm animals on the farm every spring. Every spring we have some new ones.
Yeah, new life.
Well, hey, you want to talk about this safari jungle that we're in here?
Oh yeah, speaking about
There's
new life.
plants everywhere here. There, and there. One you can't even see. It's on the floor.
Okay, so you know what I thought? I'm gonna update you guys about my plants a little bit. It was a couple months ago that I showed you my elderberry bush, and it was just a stick. It was a twig, and well, now it has leaves on it. And I have 2 American elderberry bushes, and they're doing amazing. Out of everything I own, they're doing really, really fantastic. And we're gonna plant it on our new property once the time is right. I'm not planting it yet just because there's going to be a lot of traffic in that area while we're building, so I'm worried that it's going to get trampled on and whatnot. But we already have about 30 orchard trees out there. This is the last guy to go in.
Yep.
Now, the reason I haven't put him in yet is because he needed a little extra loving, but he's up to his full health now, so he's going to go into the ground within the next week or 2. So the story about this tree and the story about our orchard. Our orchard is going to be full primarily of apple and pear trees that are in America pre-1820. So I had to do a ton of research about it. A lot of those apples are cider apples because of that. They're really good for cider.
And they'll work good for a pie too.
Yeah, they're very good cooked.
You just have to add sugar.
Yeah, there's some apple trees that even Thomas Jefferson himself had in his garden, the varieties. But then we have this guy. This is a pink lady
Never
apple.
even heard of that.
Now, I'm almost certain that this is not a super old variety. I haven't looked into it. But the story about this is, you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Ron and I dumpster dived for this tree. We got it. It was dumped out behind a business at the end of the season. You know when you go to like Tractor Supply or Lowe's or whatever it is, and they sell these fruit trees? Well, at the end of the season, some of them don't sell. So what do they do with that? They just throw them in the dumpster.
Yeah, and these were in bad shape. I think because they had them out on the parking lot, even though they water them every day, probably the pavement just cooked them.
Yeah, it cooked it. So when we got this tree, it was dead.
And so was a sugar maple that we got that's just as tall, and it's outside, but it's just as beautiful as this.
The sugar maple didn't even come with a tub. It was decapitated on the bottom, and there was one or two little roots sticking out. For some reason, it got decapitated on the bottom.
And we said, sure, we'll try it. But...
We'll try it. So we dumpster dived for this tree. We got it for free. Heck, I'm not going to turn down free food, because that's really what it is. I mean, it's a pink lady. Someone tell me out there, when was that variety bred into existence? When did it come to the United States? Maybe it's bred in America. I don't know.
And do they taste good?
And do they taste good? But yeah, we got it for free, and we have restored it back to health with a lot of lovin's.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it into the ground at our new property in a week or two.
Yeah.
You know what? We might just do it tomorrow, actually.
Okay. Well, we're doing it tomorrow.
We'll just do it tomorrow. Why not? It's healthy enough. It's good. So I got another thing down here. Oh,
you got stuff everywhere.
I got two of these French lavender bushes. There's two of them in here. And one of them already has a flower coming out on it. It might be a little hard to see.
It's a bud right there.
Yeah, a little bud.
And these came from a local Mennonite store.
Mm-hmm. Even the leaves smell like it. You know, lavender is a really good bug repellent, naturally. You don't like lavender. I love lavender.
It smells kind of like rosemary.
Yeah, the leaves especially do smell kind of rosemary.
And it looks like a big rosemary. The leaves are the same shape, they're just way bigger.
Yeah, a big rosemary leaves, which I also got a whole bunch of rosemary growing too, but I didn't bring that in. I'm kind of obsessed with gardening. That's like my thing that I've never really talked about on here is how I'm obsessed with gardening and I'm a tree hoarder. Ron sure knows. I mean, I will literally just go out there and stare at my trees like a total creep for an hour.
Make sure they're growing good.
Make sure they're growing.
It's okay, as long as I don't come in and there's something that says, "Feed me, Seymour."
Feed me.
Because I don't want to play around with that stuff.
Or I move this into our parlor or something, or our bedroom, just because I want to keep an eye on it. Ron's going to be a little annoyed with me.
It's an 18th century ficus plant. Bring your apple trees inside.
Yeah. So, like Ron said, we went to a Mennonite market, you could say. They have 1,000 acres of land, and they're only 15 minutes from our new property, so we've been going there a lot. Like, you'll drive out there and you'll see them plowing the fields with horses. Yeah. It's incredible.
It's really, really wholesome.
It is. They're really nice people. So, I got those lavender plants, 2 for $10, so I got 2 of those, which means a total of 4 French lavender bushes that I'm going to put in. And now something else I got from there is I got this rug. It's handmade. A handmade rag rug? I think that's what these are called. Okay, guess how much I paid for this. It's brand new, handmade, Mennonite made, $24. This was $24. I really like it. Okay, so I guess we're just going to show you all our random things that we've gotten recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've talked about that. So, it was like 2 weeks ago, we went to an auction at School of the Soldier. What you eat more?
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead, eat it. Go ahead.
I'm hungry.
He's very well fed, but he always complains about being hungry.
You were saying about the auction?
Okay, so 2 weeks ago we went to an auction in St. Genevieve. It was for reenactors. The whole day is called School of the Soldier.
Yep.
Like, they give you lectures about various history topics, but then also in the middle of it they have this auction. We always come to the auction. So what did I get at the auction? And everyone's in period clothes. I got this jug.
Oh, yeah.
Made in Colonial Williamsburg. It's new, or maybe from the 80s or something, I don't know.
Probably.
But it's not 200 years old, I mean.
Reproduction.
Yeah, reproduction. And I think originally you would have kept vinegar in here, possibly. But I wanted to keep it for putting flowers in. And we got this, I think, for $5 or $6.
Yeah, it was very cheap. Under $10.
Yep, at the auction. Now, there were a couple things I bid on that I lost miserably. There was another Colonial Williamsburg pot that I really wanted, but it went for $40, and I said no.
Nope. Actually, everything that we got, I got a book, you got this, that platter, and I think we got one other thing, but we didn't even spend over $20 the whole time. We got some really good deals.
We walked away and we had spent a total of $16 for everything we bought. And we don't even have everything here.
I don't remember what the fourth thing was either, to be honest with you. I know there's a fourth thing, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, so we got that. We got this. We got a book on
3.
St. Genevieve history. What in the world?
What was the other thing?
There was no other thing.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure.
I'm
sure of it.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. I lied. 3 things. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
For $16.
Yeah, so we got this platter for, I think, $5. This is why I love going to auctions. It's, I mean, brand new. I couldn't even dream about affording this, so I just visioned putting a big old chicken on here or something. I mean, you could use this for so many things. $5. People ask me all the time, where do you get your stuff from? Everywhere. We go to antique stores. We go to auctions. We go to random Mennonite Amish places. I mean, we just go everywhere.
I got this nice pewter mug that's nothing wrong with it from an antique store, and it was like $7. And it's
$7.
Real pewter, and it's in great shape.
This plate,
antique
you
store.
cannot see it really well right now, but this is Spode actually, and it's a reproduction of a print exactly from the 1840s. This plate is made in England, and we got that from an antique mall, definitely for less than $7.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now this we got from a tinsmith at a reenactment. That we got from ASL Pewter. I actually think someone gave that to us.
Yeah, that was a gift.
That was a gift from a very nice viewer. Thank you. From ASL Pewter in St. Genevieve. This is from Samson Historical. This is actually a butter churn that I use it for all sorts of things, because if you're going to spend money on something, it's within your right to use it however you want to use it.
And that's from Candy's store.
This is from Candy's store. This is a redware mug from Candy's store.
And she just got in a big shipment of those plain ones. She still has the St. Genevieve ones, but she's got the plain ones back now.
These are the plain ones, and then you can also get more touristy ones that say St. Genevieve. They're all handmade in America.
Hey, speaking of Candy's store, Pioneer Days is coming up in 2 weeks. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, May 6th and 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be super awesome. I really hope you all can come out. It's a free event. We'll have food. There'll be items for purchase by these special artists, if you will.
There'll be demonstrations.
Yeah, there'll be demonstrations. There will be, did I say food?
Yeah, you said food. That's all you ever think about.
Yeah, well, there'll be food.
There will be mule rides.
Yeah, wagon rides pulled by a team of mules. That is upon donation. So there's not a set price. It's if you want to donate $1 or if you want to donate $10, you get a ticket to ride.
To help to feed them.
Yep.
But the event itself is free. The parking's free.
Yes.
So come on down. We'd love to meet you. I'll be there both days, Saturday and Sunday. I'll probably be doing either washing laundry or candle dipping.
Yeah,
I'll be doing both, I think.
We'll see how it goes. We might bounce back and forth.
Right.
We will be busy demonstrating. We're looking forward to meeting all of you. But as a disclaimer, I do have to say we are there to demonstrate for the public. So it's not just a Ron and Justine show. It is Pioneer Days.
Yeah, it's a St. Genevieve show.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of different demonstrators there besides just us. So make sure you stop by them and say hi too, because they would love to talk to you.
Right, because there's really a lot of nice people and top quality demonstrators that are coming.
Yeah.
There's a few people that are artisans in the Early American Life magazine, and that's a big deal to have those crafters here.
Yeah. So if you want to come and support Made in America goods, handmade, that's
Yes.
the place to do it because everything there is going to be made in America.
Literally.
Literally made
Right
by
there.
the people right in front of you.
Yes. Hey, speaking of made right in front of you, we made these coloring books, and they're going to be at Pioneer Days, and they're $5, and they're going to be cash only. We're not going to deal with any kind of paper trail there at Pioneer Days, and they'll be inside Candy's store. We got about 50 of them left, so make sure you check them out if you have kids or if you just like to color in general.
And a couple people have mailed us.
They have.
So they've mailed us. So if you want one, but you're not coming to Pioneer Days, we said mail us $8 because that'll also cover the postage.
Yeah.
So we have mailed out, what was it, 3 of them?
I think 3 of them so far, yeah.
3 of them to individuals who wrote us a letter requesting one. If you are one of those and you're watching this, please comment below to let us know if you got it or not.
Yeah, because I never heard back from you guys, and
we just want to make sure that it got to you safe
right.
and sound and that the postage was okay and everything.
Just shoot us email or something would be the fastest way to let me know.
Okay.
But if you do want one, if you can, wait till after Pioneer Days. I'm really trying to get these out to the kids and stuff at Pioneer Days. And I'm going to limit it to, I know there's some people that have 5 or 6 kids and they want to buy them, but I can't sell all of them on the internet right now because there's just no time to make new ones before Pioneer Days with all the things we have going on. So that's a first come, first serve kind of deal.
Yeah, so wait till after Pioneer Days,
yeah.
I suppose, because he's putting everything into making them for that event.
And then sometime this summer, when it's too hot to do anything outside, I'll donate a whole day of my time to trying to knock out another 50 of these.
Yeah.
Because these make great stocking stuffers.
Yeah, Ron made them. I didn't really have much to do with it. It was all Ron's genius. Underneath this wig is his brilliant brain. And he put this together.
Thank you.
For kids and adults alike.
Thank you.
Or if you just want to support our channel, I mean, you can buy one too. That'd be really nice.
There's little fun facts in the back of it that go along with every picture. Some things you might know, some things you might not have known before.
Yep.
So it's really neat, and it was fun to do. And maybe in the future, maybe next year I come out with a volume 2. Maybe we'll do the Civil War era. This is kind of from 1776 to about 1812 because Lewis and Clark and some other figures are in this from the early 1800s. But maybe the next volume 2 can be from 1820 or 1830 to Civil War time or something, and then maybe a third one. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see if the demand for them.
Yeah. But hey, speaking of history, let's get into this week in history.
This week in history! Go! Now. Go.
Okay, so I've got quite a few this week actually. So on April 23rd in 1635, the first public school was founded in Boston.
Oh, in what year?
1635.
1635, the first public school.
The first public school
in America
was set up in Boston. In the United States.
In the United States.
Yes, in the United States, but it was in Boston. Alright, so the next one I got is on the same day. It's on April 23rd, and that is 1751. Our 15th president, James Bachman, was born.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I don't really know too much about him.
No, I don't know much about him either, which I guess is a good thing because it means nothing too bad happened.
It means he wasn't too bad of a president.
Maybe.
Or maybe he just wasn't too good of a president. Maybe that's why we haven't heard of him.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, so on April 24th, 1764, the first regular newspaper in America was published. Can you guess what city it was in?
Was that also in Boston?
Yes, it was. Boston was kind of like the New York before New York became New York.
There was a lot of happenings down in Boston.
Yes, Boston was the place to be. Which one day we will visit there.
One day I would love to go to Boston. I've never been to Boston. I feel intimidated by it. I feel like if I go there, people are going to say, oh, your dress ain't quite right, or your hair ain't quite it. Because us country folk out here, we're just a little different. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get brave and we'll go to Boston one day. But to me, that's a big city.
Well, I don't care about the city. I want to see the history.
Well, if you're going to actual Boston, you can't avoid it because all that stuff's downtown.
Dang.
A lot of it is downtown.
Traffic.
Yeah.
People.
We're country bumpkins.
I hate the city.
For me, now a town is like a city.
Alright, let's see. What do I got on here next? Okay, so We mentioned this a little while back when I was talking about the shortest war in America. Well, this is it. The number one shortest or quickest ending war that we've ever been in was the Spanish-American War. That was in 1895. That started on April 25th, and it lasted until August.
So not even a year.
No, just a couple months.
Whoa. Okay, that's really interesting. The Spanish-American War?
The Spanish-American War.
The shortest war we've ever been involved in.
Yes.
Interesting.
Just a couple months long. All right, so the next one. So last week I talked about Paul Revere and Samuel Prescott doing the Midnight Ride. Well, this week in 1777, Sybil Ludington, at age 16, rode 40 miles in one night to rally troops in surrounding counties because the British were burning Danbury. And a lot of people don't know about her, but she rode twice as far as Paul Revere.
Oh,
in
woman.
one night. Yes, a woman. A 16-year-old girl.
Why don't we teach about this in school? I mean, fact is a lot stranger than fiction, and there's a lot of incredible people that lived throughout history.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I've been on some trail rides in my day, and it takes like 6 or 7 hours to go 18 miles just on a trail ride. So going 40 miles on a horse, and by the way, the horses are tired after doing this.
Yeah.
18 miles.
Can we give some credit to the horse too?
Yeah, give some credit to the horse.
The poor horse.
You're running a horse in just a couple hours for 40 miles.
Must have been running non-stop.
Yes.
That's an incredible horse.
Yes.
And an incredible woman.
Now, I will say the horses back then were probably more
in
shape. They were being used a lot more than what they are today. Today, they're pets, and we do ride them. But back then, it was every day you're riding to town, riding back from town.
I'm sure that as soon as it arrived at its destination, its legs went.
Probably. So anyways, I thought that was fascinating. Also on this day, on April 26, 1865, the Union troops catch up with John Wilkes Booth and they shoot him. He's the guy that shot Lincoln.
Okay, the guy who assassinated Lincoln has himself been killed. Yep,
they shot him dead.
A lot of things that happen in April, I must say.
Yeah, April's been a busy month, especially with fighting and wars and stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of killing. I have one more for the same day, April 26th, and this is in 1785. John James Audubon, who's actually from St. Genevieve, he's a famous French-American
painter.
Painter, yes.
He paints wildlife.
Yes. Beautiful pictures of birds, and he was born today.
Oh, yep.
He lived till 1851.
Yeah, Mr. Audubon is kind of really well known around here. No, he did not invent the Autobahn in Germany, but there's restaurants here and hotels here that are named after him. There's plays. We went to a play about him last year. He lived in one of the houses that was here, and they have a magnificent painting of him hanging up in the Audubon restaurant. Yeah, they do. He's got his rifle and a frock on. He's got a fur or his coat's lined with fur. It's a really nice photo. I actually like his look. I kind of want to change my persona a little bit to look more frontiersy like that. Yeah, he specialized in painting birds. Yeah, the pictures are beautiful and world class. They are. Now, speaking of animals, you all have been asking us, where's Mishmish? Where's Mishmish? So what we did just to make you happy is we locked our poor cat in the cabin. So he can't get out. Just so he can't get out. Because the weather's beautiful. I think he's just been going out and catching grasshoppers lately. So that's why he's not been in. But he comes in every so often, just not as much as he used to. Normally that window's open, but like you said, we locked him in. Yeah, we locked him in today, so you guys could see him. Good kitty. Yeah, she's a good kitty. Now we've only got 2 more left here, Mish. You want to help me read? Alright, so on April 27th, 1822, Ulysses S. Grant, 18th President of the United States, was born. We went to his house. Yeah, we went to his house. We went to his house yesterday. Anyways, he was born in 1822 and he died in 1885. I believe. His house is in St. Louis. Yeah. Or at least one of his houses. It's a horrific green color, but it's a nice house at the same time. We say that the green giant must live there. Yeah. He's just passed out. He's asleep. You got something to say? You want to say hello to everybody? Meow. 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 We got one more. And then that'd be it for this week's in history. I told you it was long. There's a lot of things 9 of them here. Woo! So the final one, on April 28th,
1755, James Monroe, our 5th president of the United States, is born. It's his birthday today.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you.
So there's 3 presidents that have birthdays this week.
That's incredible.
Bachman,
Wow.
Grant, and Monroe.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. That's all I got for this week in history.
Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Do try out this pound cake recipe. Just brace yourself because it is heavy. It's great survival food. But
I do regret eating that last one.
Oh, really? I'm very surprised. Yeah, I think between the 2 of us, we've had a dozen of these in the last 24 hours.
So we've ate about a half pound of butter.
Yes, we did.
You know, they say 1 pound of butter and it puts like 5 pounds on you.
Yeah, 1 pound of butter magically gets turned into 5 pounds of fat. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you. Mish Mish does too. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
Bye-bye.